Hey, my name's Lars Whalen, and this is my cultural identity project. Today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about myself and my cultural identity. I hope you enjoy it. Sorry. So first off, family plays a pretty big role in my life. I kind of have an identity of my father's side, kind of Irish and Welsh. My mom's side, very Eastern German. A lot of her cooking was a lot of shepherd's pie, a lot of coleslaw, a lot of German stuff. So there's a huge connection with the German part of my family. Also, we had quite a few fun Oktoberfests, but we're also from Northern Ireland, so we didn't have the Catholic stuff going on. The men and the women in the family are pretty equal. Love thy neighbor, that's a Christian thing that we were always talking about. But my dad was always away, mostly, out of the country or in Alaska teaching law, so oftentimes the mom was in charge. And therefore, I kind of see the females as a positive role model, which you don't get too often, I have two sisters who are very smart, big impact on my life. Big sister was a valedictorian in my high school, also a Harvard and Cambridge grad. Maybe another reason I see women in such a positive light. Go over to England, had a good time over there quite a bit. Little sister's also very smart, at University of Kentucky right now, completing her master's in library science. You go, Mom, big part of my life. Mom was very small, but a very big character in my life, and she still remains today. My aunt and uncle, who live in Kansas, were very involved in my life. My aunt's still very involved in my life, very positive role model, teacher, helped me get into this profession. So I have a giant connection with family. Also, I kind of identify as being Southern. My family is from Kentucky, about 5 or 6 generations. A lot of us were in the mountains, all over there, so big part of my identity is what I am. I could say the language being Southern was really big. It was washing machine, washing this. Also, I thought vegans were vegans for quite a bit. So that's a big part of my life. Another thing, Christianity, huge big deal in my life. I still kind of struggle today. Am I Christian? Am I not a Christian? Is Islam cool? I lived over there. Hey, are they going to hell? I don't know. But education played a huge role in my life. My mom is a gym teacher for 40 years, pretty cool. Played a big role in me viewing education in a positive manner. My dad was also on the school board on the state, which also was pretty involved. He's also a mediator and attorney for special ed rights here and there, so big deal. I pretty much struggle with religion day to day, as I said before. I don't know. I hear a new religion, maybe I got part of that. Scientology, not really that cool, but sometimes you got to look into what's there. Music's also a very big part of my life. My uncle's a professional guitar player. Mom played piano, started playing violin at 5 until I was 16. And then I went on to playing bass guitar, toured a little around northern Kentucky, but nothing really came out of that. But music still plays a huge role in my life, as well as art. I'm a painter, sell paintings here and there. My aunt's an artist, made rubber band balls as a little kid, just hands-on sculpture. Very important part of my life and how it shapes my life today. I couldn't, go a week without the paintbrush. Music's very important. So work and play. I was taught from a very early age work's going to stink, but play's even better. And I thought, an airplane's kind of appropriate. The mountains, the beach of California, Canada, a big part of where we used to go as a family. My parents basically taught me, if you work hard, you get to go to cool places. Austin, Texas, Africa, Kenya, Mount Hood. All pretty good, Work hard, play harder. That was the Whalen way. So, on to stuff not as cool, or not as interesting. Funds of knowledge, my life experience. I went to Africa and Senegal in 2010. I was also a Christian missionary in Thika, Nairobi, Nakuru, Kenya for a while. And also kind of shaped my views of Muslims and Christians in a way. Well, I viewed Muslims more as just other people, with different beliefs. I didn't necessarily have any negative bias towards them. Also, I'm kind of in more in the moratorium when it comes to religion right now. As I said before, kind of negative, kind of positive, but I guess overall kind of negative. I was a missionary over in Kenya, experienced some bias from Christians not being so well to our brother Muslims, the deists over there, so it kind of turned me off from religion. Another thing, when looking at my white identity, I look at autonomy, because a lot of my best friends are black. Got around, dated quite a few black women in my day. I kind of don't view them as African Americans or people of color. They're just my friends. They happen to look different. Got different hair, different skin. Not a big deal. This has another part of my life I also view, because my little sister is a very brown Asian. Never really viewed her as something else, something in the house. You know, she's my sister, you know, just happens to look different, you know. Also, when I look at the civic model on my funds and knowledge, I think that I'm very discouraged. I've been out of college for 5 years, really haven't made that much money, and the job market kind of looks bleak. Hopefully this program helps out a little bit. Looking at biases now, I took a few tests online. I found that careers are associated with women, and as I said before, my mom is a very involved part of my life. My father was gone quite a bit. He was working his butt off for me, but he wasn't there, so I feel like a lot of the times in my life I viewed women as having kind of a positive role in nurturing and actually helped me grow up into a career. I also took another test, and I saw that I associate women with liberal arts a little bit more and men with science a bit more, and I completely see this because I was raised around opera with my mom, and my sister's now in charge of the opera in Cincinnati, and I kind of associate liberal arts with that, as well as I also had many female art teachers, band instructors, so on and so forth. In the classroom, I kind of have a few biases right now. People that are clearly closed-minded, because I believe a student needs to be open-minded, you know, to really get farther in life. You got to be open-minded, go searching things out, and also political correctness, I'd say, is another bias I see in the classroom. You know, we don't need to be labeling ourselves too much positively, too much negatively. I think it just separates us as humans. We're all people. We can all be friends. We can all marry. We can all love. We can all hate. You know, we're all people here. Just look a little different. I also see I have a bias for religious people. I kind of feel for religious people more, even though it's necessarily sometimes I don't believe I'm a religious man per se, but I feel it's good to have hope. And you know, a lot of times non-religious people can be quite negative, and you know, you shouldn't rain on someone's parade, because if you like ice cream, I like bananas, you know, nothing wrong with that. I also think, you know, people that work too seriously, you know, you gotta have fun with work. You can't be just getting down and stressing out. You have to be very, very, you know, have fun in life, or you're just gonna beat yourself up. That's another thing I also feel like I have a bias towards, people that work too seriously. And finally, you know, I took another test about disabled people, and I feel like it said I had a strong bias towards favoring disabled people, which kind of makes sense. Growing up, I had a speech impairment and was put in classes with a deaf kid, per se, I guess hearing impaired, and we became best friends, and we still hang out today, and I feel like he and I both were missing part of our lives because I had a hard time communicating, he had a hard time hearing, and so we just kind of bonded, and now when I'm in a classroom, I was at Steele last week doing a lab, and I saw the kid with the hearing aids by himself. I really felt for the kid, because I remember my buddy Bryce, and we had to wear these Oshkosh suspenders and putting the big old thing in the pocket, and like just being separate and having to be careful and not being able to play basketball like that. And I just really feel for that kid, you know, and that's why I have a bias, probably is feeling more seriously, you know, towards feeling some compassion towards disabled kids. And also, finally, as Frere put it, I kind of have a bias towards people that are teachers and their closed-mindedness, you know, in the school. They think you know too much. We never know too much. We're always learning, you know, and we can't learn enough. And life, you know, life's just so long. You gotta learn all of that. But you know, it was nice talking to you, and it's very good. And I hope you have a good night. Thank you.